Yes. Yes, I know it's been a while. Oh, listen, I've had a hoot and a holler. A lot's gone on. You want us to come back? You really want us back? All 12 of you? Well, all right. Hi, everyone. Oh, my gosh. It's me, Mrs. Kasha Davis from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 7 and All Stars 8, and your Auntie. Auntie podcast has returned. Can you even believe it? I can't even believe it. I said to myself, Mrs. Kasha Davis, it's time for you to get back in the saddle. All of this time that you've spent away, people need some positivity, some conversations, some love. And while I was away, it's been a fabulous ride. We started a company called Drag Me to the Stage. That's right. There's bingos and brunches and all kinds of things with my besties. Of course, my husband, Mr. Davis, Tim Evanecki, and Ricky Torres. And we are bringing you all kinds of drag fabulosity at a time when I think we need it most. Now, you know, Auntie is all about lifting people up, showcasing their talents, and making sure that we talk about celebration, inspiration, and beautiful light. And when I think of people that I've always wanted to have here on this podcast, I think of one person who I adore from the moment we met. We might have had a little tussle here and there, but like good besties, we all work it out. And I don't know about you, but this particular gal, she loves the holidays. Wait till you see. Here she is bringing in the fall season, the fabulous Ethylina Canne.
Oh my gosh. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Oh, I love that we are working the same color story and we didn't plan it.
We didn't plan it. We didn't talk about 5 times before this afternoon. Oh my gosh. Now, first and foremost, look at you. Now, I asked Fitz, I'm like, do you know who that is? And immediately Fitz was brought back to childhood after school, sitting watching like The Price is Right and the fabulous Bewitched. Tell everybody who you are.
I am Endora. The fabulous, famous witch from Bewitched. That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Agnes Moore. Yes.
Agnes Moore. Now, was Endora an inspiration for you as a little boy, girl, gal, girl, boy, fella?
I'm going to say so. I mean, it was a drag queen in my. I was like, oh, she's fabulous. And the eyeshadow, it was that blue eyeshadow, which I absolutely loved. Love.
And she was so grand and just mysterious and frankly a little bitchy.
So yes, she was bitchy, which I absolutely love.
Okay, now you're coming to us live over the technology of Zoom. You are in where? Palm Springs,
California, where we are experiencing an 89-degree day today in September.
Oh my gosh! What? Now, I've had the pleasure of you touring me around Palm Springs over the years and just getting to see all that there is in Palm Springs. Tell everybody a little bit about Palm Springs and if you were to give like a quick little glimpse as what people could expect.
Yes. So Palm Springs is a fabulous like melting pot of all different kinds of people surrounded by this fabulous mid-century modern architecture, which I absolutely adore. I don't know about you, Kasha. If I could go back in time, it would be to like 1960, hanging out with Doris Day, all that. Here in Palm Springs, oh my gosh, it's heaven. It really is. And it's a slower vibe. It's beautiful. We have a gorgeous mountain here. The summers are hot, whatever, who cares? But
well, how hot?
Well, normally we're at like 121 at this time. So we're experiencing a very mild summer. So,
mild in the high 80s is mild.
We're doing really well. And we've only got like one more month of heat and then it's perfect weather. Perfect.
Oh my gosh. Well, so, okay, you can tell that you like the mid-century modern by if you take a little glimpse around your fabulous home that I've had the pleasure of just touring. Now, you might also like the holidays.
You know what? I do. I love the holidays. I got it from my family, actually. My grandmother, my grandfather, my mom and dad, we celebrated every holiday that there is. So You're probably wondering why I have a Christmas tree in my house. Well,
I'm not.
So during COVID, when we were sheltering in place and I was all alone here, I was like, I need some joy around. And so I'm like, I'm going to put up the tree.
Yes.
So I have had a tree for Valentine's Day, St. Patty LaPone Day instead of St. Patrick's Day.
There you go.
Easter, which I know is your favorite.
Oh, I don't love a pastel. It's not.
It's okay. It's okay.
I think, honestly, Easter, when I think about Easter, when I was a child, I could get behind all of the different celebrations with the holidays, but that giant bunny.
I know those scary pictures.
Scary. It's just those I just couldn't get. So anyway, that's my explanation of Easter. But you got the frickin' bats on the wall.
I do. Of course I do. And so you want to say that this year I did a gay pride tree. It was rainbow. And then I do a 4th of July. And then we move right into Halloween. And then we end with Christmas, of course. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So those trees.
And I mean, what did the neighbors just like, is it competition for all the holidays around there? Is it just?
No, it's not. But since I've been here, I've been in this house for 12 years. Each year, more and more people decorate, which I absolutely love.
Well, because you're keeping up with the Joneses, they want to compete.
Right. That's right. And there's a lovely lady that lives across the street who's lived here for a very long time, and her family's been here forever. And she said that this entire street used to decorate during the holidays at one point.
Right.
So I'm hoping before, I call it quits on this earth, and we'll all decorate. Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've seen your home decorated. I've been able to see how, and you have storage. You have, outdoor storage, she sheds.
Days.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So, okay. I first met you in Palm Springs backstage at a club called Toucans. And I was sitting there with the fabulous Delta Work. Who else was there? Tommy Rose.
Yeah.
I think Morgan McMichaels.
Had to have been.
Had to have been. And so Delta is like, you must meet Ethel. And I believe you were in drag that night. Am I correct?
It's so, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you came around the corner and I just could feel the joy. Yes. I just felt this connection. And we often joke that there are a cast of characters on the West Coast that remind me of the cast of characters that I grew up with here. And you and I are, in some ways, I think we're twins that were taken away from each other.
Right. Separated at birth. I remember hearing about you. Delta told me, Pandora told me, Morgan told me. They're like, oh my God, you have a twin. And I said, what? A twin? Yeah. In Rochester, New York. I said, oh, you must be joking. You know what I mean? I just couldn't believe it. But behold. We have same hair normally. And we're in the same color story today without planning. So it's like, yes, we are twins. We're saving the world, actually.
We're saving the world one drag performance at a time.
Coast to coast.
Coast to coast drag. I'll tell you what. We get on the phone. For anybody listening, you've got to have a friend like Ethel. We get on the phone, and yes, of course, sometimes there's some gossip, and we're talking about the things that are going on in the world, and there's extreme laughter, but even tears. I mean, just a full range of emotions and just a connection. And I wish that for everyone. And we don't live in the same place. We get to connect through the telephone and occasionally get to work together and visit together, but it's so special, and I'm so grateful for you. Now, tell everyone a little bit about your drag story. I am so inspired by not only the fact that you have such pristine looks and you say to yourself, like, this is something I'm going to dive in and it's going to look right. But you have had not just the drag performance history, but you're doing so many fundraising. Tell everybody a little bit, a nice overview of all that is Ethel.
So all that is Ethel. So I moved to town here. I started my career in San Francisco with the wonderful, famous, God bless her, Ethylina of Tranny Shack fame, San Francisco, who I sorely miss. I worked up there, and I made my way down here where nobody knew me. And, Toucans was the place to be. We all know this, correct?
And this is pre-Drag Race.
Pre-Drag Race, 100%.
Yes.
There was a line around. If you didn't have your ticket like 2 weeks in advance, you weren't coming in.
Right.
So And Tommy Rose was running that show. She did so for 22 years. God bless her. And to get into that show was almost impossible. Almost impossible,
Right.
So I entered a contest, which was 12 weeks, grueling 12 weeks with Tommy Rose. And I actually won that contest for a spot in the show, which was that. So that's how I got in there. And then, as things happen, I worked there. I've worked at brunches. I've done hosting and so on and so forth. But then COVID hit. And you and I know having to do this virtually was very interesting. And it made me very aware that having a live audience, I will never take that for granted again in my life, ever. Because this is I see you, you know what I mean? You see me, but, there's a disconnect. Do you agree?
Right. I understand.
Yeah. So after COVID came and went, somehow, some way, bingo became the thing to do.
Bingo. I never heard of it.
Yeah, I know, right? I never heard of my life. So, lo and behold, I started doing a bingo. And I think it was just good, clean, fun. It was simplified. I think that people during COVID realized, I don't need to be everywhere. I don't need to go to every event. And I would much rather hang out with a core group of friends and really enjoy each other's presence. Right?
And everybody knows how to play bingo. It's fun. For some reason, it's still exciting, but believe it or not, because, that's right.
So the interesting caveat with the bingo is that it's we do fundraisers. I do them with GD. They produce the event, and they're absolutely wonderful. But the fundraising part of it is what really is the most rewarding to me, because over the last 3.5 years doing Ethel's Place Bingo at the Roost, we've raised almost $100,000.
That's amazing.
Or, every month it's a different charity. And the community here is one like I've never seen before. The amount of giving that they do is unreal. It's unreal. And so once a month, I'm doing a bingo for 180 people, and they're buying tickets. We don't even have to advertise at this point.
Right. Well, it's because you have so much heart. There's an attraction to that. And at a time with so much negativity online and so much, banter back and forth about that negativity, it's such a refreshing piece of joy to play bingo, to know that they can come, have a good time with friends and support an organization. Now, you are not new to hosting and fundraising. You've done this your entire career. Tell us a little bit about some of the celebrity. I mean, you're out in Palm Springs. So, I mean, a celebrity here in Rochester is going to be Darian Lake of Pandora Box. And, they're not celebrities, but you know what I mean. But tell us about some of the celebrities you've had the pleasure of hosting with and just, mingling with out there in the desert.
My most prized person I got to host twice with was the adorable Leslie Jordan.
Oh, my gosh.
I was called at one time when the government was going to shut down, or it did shut down, and so they couldn't fly someone here because there was no money. They called me, the last minute and said, "Can you please host the Equality Awards with Leslie Jordan?" I said, "Absolutely."
Oh, my gosh. So
he was an absolute riot. And then I had the esteemed pleasure of hosting the Steve Chase Awards with him. We co-hosted together, the Steve Chase Awards, for people who don't know what they are, it's like the Oscars of Palm Springs.
Right.
Desert AIDS Project. And he was absolutely delightful. Delightful. And I even got to meet his sister. She's
oh my gosh. Well, now for me, Leslie Jordan, I got to do one event, Y'all Means All, in Natchez, Mississippi, this little blue dot in the red state, and turned to me and said, "Kasha, your hair's not teased, it's terrorized," and said, "You can take that with you." It's just like, what a joy. Now, but you've also mingled and, hobnobbed with what? Some of the old school, like Joan Collins.
Yes, Joan Collins. Morgan and I went to Palm Springs Speaks, where she was just, answering questions and telling stories and whatever. And we posed with her. And I was so happy because I got to bring my mother to meet Joan. And, Dynasty was the only show that I was allowed to stay up late for when I was a little boy.
Now, who was your favorite?
Joan,
right?
Alexis will win. Come on.
I mean, it was always Alexis.
It was always Alexis, but being able to take my mother to meet her was like a full.
You're such a good son, daughter, child. I had the pleasure of knowing your mom, and just it was always such a joy to see how much she loved to come and support your shows and be there and just cheer you on, and never a shady thing to say, at least to my face.
She never had a shady thing to say, and she had multiple desert sons, she called them, and she was my plus one to everything. And I miss her. I'm really grateful for this.
Yes, wonderful, and a lot of LGBTQ plus kids of our generations sometimes lose that opportunity to have that relationship, and it was so inspiring for me to see that, because I didn't have that when I came out. I didn't have that relationship with my mom. I get to have her now in spirit, but that's a whole different scenario. So it was so wonderful to go to lunch with you and for you to share that. Again, just such a beautiful thing about the relationship that we've had together, and how fun that has been. Now, what do you think? Well, are there any other celebrities we should know about that just roam out and about into the Palm Springs area?
Ruta Lee. I mean,
Ruta.
Ruta. Like I could hang out with her for days. She's so fabulous.
Oh my gosh. How fun.
Barry Manilow. Who else? A smattering of other people, I'm sure. Suzanne Summers. You know.
Suzanne Summers. Yes, Suzanne. Just divas. Dude, yeah. Now, all the divas. Now, you have done, you're obviously impersonating a fabulous diva that we both love, Endora, Agnes Moorehead. Who else? What other characters do you like to do?
Well, of course, you and I have Liza in our back pocket.
Yes.
Always. And, otherwise, it's, I've done some Elaine Stritch. I don't consider myself a celebrity impersonator, because I'm not trying to look like them 100%. I do my own spin on it, but I pull characters. So, Elaine Stritch in a white shirt and, some pantyhose, here's to the ladies who lunch. Doris Day is another one.
Yes. Well, what about when you turned 50?
My gosh. Yeah. Molly Shannon. Yes. Oh my God. So good. So good. Yes. I like to kick, stretch, and kick.
Kick, stretch, and kick. And you did such a flawless. I mean, because we're quirky, both of us. I mean, we're kooky, we're quirky. And that was so fun. Now, I'm trying to remember, did you go to a book signing, or there was something, did you mingle with her?
So what happened is that I have a friend that is friends with her agent, and my friend sent the video that we took at the red dress party out with the airplanes. I, did the whole walking in, blah, blah, blah. And so she saw that, and it was sent to her, and she posted it on her Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
She was very kind. She said, oh my God, I get these videos all the time, but I'm so grateful for it. She's an absolute gem. So then her book came out. And of course, I went to LA to go see her and get that book signed. And I got to meet her in person.
Oh my gosh.
And we did the kick and the stretch together. And it was a full circle moment that I will never, ever, ever forget my entire life.
Exactly. That's what I think you meet and you mingle with so many celebrities on the West Coast, and specifically Palm Springs, that you forget. And I love to live vicariously through these experiences, because I don't get to do that so often. Now, I know that the world of drag is all about RuPaul's Drag Race, and a lot of people think that, RuPaul's Drag Race is where it all started, and this, that, and the other. But you've had the opportunity to work with Varla Jean Merman and Dixie Longate and so many different queens and kings that come through Palm Springs. What would you say, the big difference that you see now since Drag Race has become such a big thing? What does it feel like in the drag world as somebody who's continuing to be successful? What do you see as sort of the blanket situation with Drag Race, along with those that have not competed on the show?
Well, I mean, I remember when I called you and I was just like, I had that very candid conversation with you about that I didn't feel that I was good enough, you know what I mean? Or I didn't feel like I was on the same page or whatever, because I wasn't on Drag Race. Therefore, am I valid was what it came down to. And, we talked about that. And, because it became for a while, it was like we only want to see Drag Race girls. That's
Right.
it. And so I wasn't able to book local girls in shows. It was like Drag Race or nothing, And so it has slowly changed. We've kind of, that has peaked and we are moving right along. But when everybody's asking me like, well, why weren't you on Drag Race? Why didn't you audition? And I did send in to tape one time, and I feel that I don't need to be on that show. I get to work with all of the people that have been, every contestant that's been on there that comes through Palm Springs, I've worked with.
Right.
And not only have I worked with them, I'm their friend. And
yes.
so
you've been to Bianca's house.
Honey, yes, I did.
She's right out there.
Let's talk about that. But yes.
Yeah, right.
And so I get to hang out and as Varla Jean Merman calls them, her colleagues.
Colleagues.
Yes. I feel now. I'm over that. Like, okay, I wasn't on the show, but I am valid and I am good enough. And it shows with all the different things that I get booked for.
That's actually. Right.
Yeah.
And it's the work that you do, the joy that you bring. I mean, let's face it, we have conversations on the phone sometimes. And like some of these girls, they don't have the gratitude. They don't have the work ethic. They have this expectation of celebrity. And we come from a different time with regard to drag where, it was an opportunity to bring communities together. Right. And host and celebrate and do what we do on stage that's so joyful. And I think that's what inspires me about the work that you do. And you're doing it full time right now.
I am doing it full time. Yes.
Yes.
Which I put my heels down. I didn't want to do it. And I didn't want to do it because I was afraid of the hustle. But you know what? I'm doing it right now and it's okay. Bills are paid. Food's in the fridge. She's good.
She's good. Well, and you've got a couple decorations.
And I have a couple outfits. So
and a couple outfits. Now, do you have a special Halloween, just because it keeps grabbing my eye, do you have a special Halloween decoration right there to your left that you'd like to talk a little bit about?
I do. I'm very excited about it. So somebody asked me the other day, they're like, girl, what is your budget for your Halloween decorations? And here's the trick. Not the trick, actually, but I learned this from my grandmother. If you buy something and it's a decoration, you take it out of the box, you put it out on the shelf, and when you put it away, you put it back in that box and you put it away nicely. So some of these things I've had for 14 years. There are Dollar Tree ornaments on this tree. You know what I mean? Mixed in with some other nice things. But I usually buy one item a year to add to,
Nice.
And this year, I don't know if you know about the ghost of the mug.
Tell us.
Do you? So this ghost, it's right here to my right. I guess you can laugh at it. Is a disco ball ghost.
Oh my gosh.
Now, this ghost, they sent one to every store. Just one. Okay? So if you go on Etsy right now or eBay, people are selling them for $600, about $600.
Oh my gosh.
$149 without a discount. Now everything's half off for Halloween. But he makes me so happy and joyful, and I just love him to death. And he's quite... Light as a feather, though, too. But the nice thing is that I realized, and this was during Pride Month, I was like, you know what? Disco balls go with everything.
They do. All colors.
There's disco balls on this tree behind me. There's him, and I absolutely just adore him. Makes me so happy.
I mean,
right?
That's if it brings you joy, that's all that matters.
So that's my one item, and he's just lovely, and I'm grateful for it, and I'm not going to sell him. But no matter what you want to offer me.
Don't worry. Yeah. Well,
and I've got to tell you something about Michael's, because now we've lost Joanne's. I lit a candle that day. Did you?
I wasn't a big Joanne's fan, but I mean, I stopped in.
Well, I want to tell you that Michael's had their entire line of Halloween merchandise out on Friday the 13th. That was June 13th, Kasha.
Oh my
June.
June.
Keep it on June.
They're really very special.
I'm very proud of myself because this was the third year I tried and I did it. My Halloween went up and was lit the same day as Disneyland.
Oh my gosh.
August 22nd. Yes.
Wherever you go, she brings joy, Ethel. That's what you do. Hey. Now, if you think back to when you were a little boy, girl, gal, girl, boy, fella, do you have any fabulous memories or photos? I mean, you really like to celebrate that time in your life and the influences you had with your family. Tell us a little bit about this childhood. And were you always so like out and expressive as a child? You know,
So
tell us a little bit about.
I was born and raised on a 3.5 miles out of town in Morro Bay, Central Coast, California, on a 10-acre parcel right next to my grandparents that had another 10-acre parcel. And when I was born, I was a mistake. You know, they didn't think I was coming, and they thought it was going to be a girl. Yes. My grandmother told me that, my mother she wasn't going to go into labor. So the nurses says, you know what, you can just go home. She's not going to give birth. It's all fine. Well, she did. I was too big, so they had to, take me out manually. And manually. My grandmother came to the hospital the next day, and the nurse walked up to her and said, well, Mrs. Rogallo, here is your grandson. And she said, no, it's not. I'm having a granddaughter.
Oh.
Is what. Yeah, bound and determined. And so lo and behold, she got a grandson. And I am so grateful for her because my mom went back to work shortly after I was born. And she taught me how to do floral arrangements, how to set the table, how to speak properly. She took me to the plays and musicals and everything. And so I don't know, like I do know. She knew I have all of her Christmas letters.
Oh.
Do you write a Christmas letter?
I don't write a Christmas letter, but I know a lot of people that do. I like to. I do a nice Christmas card.
Yes, which I've gotten many of those. I think.
Yeah.
When you send a card, it means it's your hair.
That's right.
Okay. So, grandmother wrote a Christmas letter every year, and I have them in sequence from 1968 all the way up until 2001 or so. It's on down there. So. The year I was born, of course, she loved me and she was immediately smitten with me. But the second year, she wrote in it, and I just read it in my one-woman show that I did for Christmas. We need a little Christmas now, okay?
Right.
If not yesterday. And in this Christmas letter, she said, we sure do love our grandson. He is very special, but I do think that there's, something interesting about him. He's spending more time than normal in the latrines, is what she typed and wrote. So it's a very interesting way of saying that, like, he's gay.
Right.
And because I wasn't hanging out in latrines, for Christ's sake, I was 2 years old. That's some way you would express it back in 1974. But she knew. And of course, when I was 15 years old, I was like, at the dinner table, just nervous. And then I'm just like, I'm gay. And they're like, really? Yeah, no idea. Thanks for letting us.
So you came out at 14?
Yes. Well, I was out from the get.
Right.
Yes.
But I mean, you like verbalized it and proclaimed it. And yeah. And I love that you share so many photos from your childhood where you're just a fabulous little fella and just loving on mom and grandma and and all the joy, because it seems like it was just present. And I think to myself, oh my gosh, I would have loved to be, friends in school. We would have just been tearing it up. Who knows? Maybe we wouldn't have gotten along because we'd probably be very similar.
Well, but I would have loved that because, I was, because I couldn't hide it, honey. And I was in Morro Bay and she was very gay. So I had girlfriends that I met all the time. And it was interesting. I just remember what they used to do to me in school. The teachers. Are you ready for it?
Just tell me.
Okay. And, my grandmother saved every piece of memorabilia that I've ever had. So I have all the baby shower cards. I have all the progress reports. Everything.
Right.
This is what they used to do to me in elementary school when I wouldn't shut up and I wanted to talk and pass notes.
Right.
To the girls. They would put me in the back of the room and I would be a satellite.
Oh.
What do you think that meant? Like, what do you think happened to me? Just take a guess.
I don't know. As a satellite.
So they would escort me to the back of the class.
Right.
And in the back, there was a 3-partition kind of wall, if you will, and a desk behind it. So they would put me back there and I could hear what was going on. I could do my homework and study and take it all in. I wasn't allowed to see anybody or talk to anyone.
Oh my gosh.
A satellite.
I was put in the hallway. They told me I was a chatterbox. And every report card said I was a chatterbox, that I couldn't stop talking.
Likes to talk.
We love to talk. Loves to talk.
Okay, fine. Yeah,
Right.
What's wrong with
Exactly. We're just communicators. I used to sell smelly stickers. I used to get the kids together and be like, could you sell these for me in the playground? I wouldn't sell them, but I would collect the money. My desk was full of change.
She was a business lady.
She was a businesswoman from the get-go. Ridiculous.
So funny.
Now, I have a question. Have you ever dressed a goat?
No.
No.
Now, I had goats. Heidi, Cassie, Billy, and Lucy.
Yeah.
Okay. But I've never dressed a goat, but I'm about to.
Yeah.
I'm actually, you're hearing it first on the WWW. I'm competing for Miss Gay Hot Rodeo. That's right.
Oh, fabulous.
And you know, so it's going to be pastels. I know you don't like pastels, but that's the color wheel I'm choosing. So it's going to be very exciting. I'm competing on October 18th here in Cathedral City. Our hot rodeo happens in Bannon because that's the closest rodeo place where you can have steers, full goats. And one of the competitions at the rodeo is goat dressing.
Oh my gosh.
So everybody gets the same outfit from what I can deduce. I have never been there, so we'll see. But you all get the same outfit, and it's a timed dressing. So you have to dress. Let's go. Mm-hmm. And then you win the gold prize, or the gold belt buckle.
The gold belt.
Yes.
Well, now you've had experience with animals, farm animals, so you're probably going to have a little bit of an advantage. And I think that you've also had a little bit of an advantage with regard to pageants. Did you ever have a little mishap on stage with a sleigh?
Funny you bring that up. Yes, I did. I took a tumble for you at the Best in Drag pageant 10 years ago.
It's a huge pageant that is a fundraiser, right?
Yes, for Alliance for AIDS. So it helps with money for people who don't have living spaces and food and shelter. So it's amazing. Yes.
And so it's a huge pageant that is hosted by like Kathy Griffin and different celebrities. And did you host it as well at one point? Maybe
I've never hosted, but I did. I came back as color commentary one year. Yes.
Gotcha. Oh, fabulous. So, but you love the holidays, as we've established, and you were Mrs. Claus. And tell everybody what happened.
So I for the talent number, it was I was very fortunate to have a friend who worked for CBS. So I had access to props from there. So I had an actual sleigh, it was on wheels, and it was all fabulous. My dear friend Levi came as Santa, his father's Santa outfit. And it was kind of a very fast-paced, kind of whirlwind of a number. And so when we launched out on the stage, I was in said sleigh, and Santa was pushing me. And, as we rounded a bend, the first turn, I, of course, was not concerned with, the weight, a lot. Thing, and I just leaned over and was waving to the audience, and boom! So she got on her ass, and was mortified, but I didn't let it show. I didn't miss one word of that lip sync.
Nope.
And I put the sleigh back up, and I competed and continued with the number. I got a standing ovation for that.
Of course you did. Yes. That's drag. That is my kind of drag. Now, have you ever posted that video on your social media lately? I think this is something you should bring
out on. Yes, you just do Sandy Claus Talent Best in Drag. It pops right up. Oh, you know what? And it's about time that I share that. It's our 10-year anniversary.
I think with everything that's going on with social media, I mean, it's a great time to share it and to just give everybody a giggle, because let's transition a little bit to this without going into detail.
Yes.
I mean, we are all experiencing levels of just what the heck is going on politically, and the fact that we have so much social media and so many people just reporting news and things that are going on, and really just focusing so much on the negativity. And as we know, that negativity, once it gets that attention, it grows and grows. What do you do to keep this positivity that you have? What are some of your tools?
Well, and I called you about this too because I saw that you were, for World Pride, you were on the steps of, the Lincoln Memorial, and I know that you're a huge advocate of speaking out, and you've gotten accolades from HRC and all that fabulous stuff. So it's when this all started happening, like drag was being vilified. That's what they're doing, vilified by these people, and about a full lie. That we're grooming children, which is so asinine. I didn't know. I was like, what am I going to do? Like, what can I do to do something about this? You know what I mean? And you helped me with that and said that what I was doing was just like, I just want to give people like an hour and a half of the day where they're not thinking about that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff. Hate is what it's called in this world. And everybody's being very vocal about it because it's somehow, some way okay. And, I'm grateful for that. And I have a voice, and I feel that if I don't use it, it's a disservice. And, it's just, I have to keep doing that because joy is contagious.
Yes.
You know this. And if you just keep doing it, it's just, if you change one person's mind, one.
Right.
One.
And I hear the emotion in your voice, and I know how important it is. And that sincerity, that love comes through, and I believe saves lives. And I would ask the question, do you believe that in some ways drag and this expression, not just you as your drag character, but the drag that you present in your home, has it saved your life? Yeah.
100%.
Right. It's for me, it's a beautiful opportunity to stop suppressing the fabulous side of me. And I know that we both can relate to that with one another. I mean, listen, this is Ethel, but when you see Jeffrey, you are an impeccable dresser. I mean, who's the designer that's out there that you love so much, the colorful, fabulous outfits? Yeah, Trina Turk. Yeah.
Oh, Trina Turk. So good. It's like, the clothes make me so happy. It's the only clothing line I've ever worn in my life where strangers will come up and make a comment. Oh my God, I love your outfit. I love that top. I love those pants. And it's like, it doesn't matter. It could be like a child all the way up to like a 79-year-old man.
Yeah.
Straight man. And it's the only clothing line that does that. It makes me feel so good.
It brings you joy, and it's by spreading joy. Now, you've of course worked in the hospitality industry for years, and just like no other, just people coming up to the front desk with crazy complaints. Have you ever had in that industry, like, is there a funny or a really crazy situation that happened that you couldn't even believe it?
Yes, I will tell you that. So we at one point had a deal with Groupon. Okay, trying to get heads in bed.
Yeah,
that's what you.
Heads in beds.
See that room rented. And so, I had a lovely lady that came, and she came into the office when she checked in, and you could smell the flour or whatever they want to call it these days. Just almost knocked me down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she was stoned, and that's totally fine. You know what I mean? Hey, girls, do your thing. But she stayed the night. And then, she wanted to stay another night. I was like, oh, we were actually sold out. It was the weekend. We're a weekend town. And
right.
So she went home, and then I got a call from Groupon that she was she didn't stay there, she said. And I was like, that must have been some good SHIT. Okay.
Yeah, she's like, I don't remember a thing.
I wasn't there. I don't know what you're talking about. I said, she sure did stay here.
She sure did.
And I was like, yeah, no. So I was just like, wow. People.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Interesting.
I want to slow your roll there.
Slow it down a little bit. Well, talking about slow your roll, I'm very vocal about my sobriety, and one of the greatest gifts you ever gave me, you brought me to a fabulous meeting out in Palm Springs, and you were the one to give me my 18-month coin, and I was there, and I think about some places that have been really special that have this sort of spiritual vibe for me in terms of sobriety, and it's Palm Springs, Puerto Vallarta, believe it or not. I was doing a show with Darian there, and I was like, I can't find a meeting. I really need a meeting. It's a party town. And the gentleman turned to me and said, it's in the basement of the building. Like in the basement of the building we were performing in. I mean, what could be more, perfect. Yeah. So that is a gift. And I cherish you as somebody who I consider a part of my circle of friends. And when I think about that sort of visual of a circle, I think like at the beginning of that for me is obviously my husband and my stepdaughters and our fabulous dog Max. And then it goes out to, of course, family members. But I think of that special group of friends. And when you were younger, did you find yourself trying to get every other, like just be popular with everybody? Like I did. Yeah. And now you have that circle, that group, and they're there for you at times where it's like, you can't even believe it. And I think of you as, I was going to say, I think of you as somebody in that, and you told me a story. You love your pets like I do. And you had a really, really close friend just there for you at a tough time with your little buddy. And tell everybody how important that was for you.
It's because it's very important because it's like that's something that you don't want to have to do alone. And
right.
I'm an orphan at this point. I lost both my parents during COVID, so I'm an only child. So thank God I have chosen family, and thank God I have my friend Brian who is there for me through thick and thin. I can call him at any hour. I know I could call you at any hour.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm sometimes calling you in the middle of the night because we're 3 hours apart.
We're different time. I remember when you called me about the pie cakins? We were obsessed with pie cakin.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
The pie cakin. Now, I do want you to know that Walmart does have a version of that at a much better price point.
Well, but is it as tall? Is it all pie and cake in?
It is.
Okay.
But the nice thing there, you can buy it by the slice.
Oh, now you shouldn't have told me that.
By the slice.
Yeah, you've done fabulous promotional videos for pie cakin. And for those that don't know, what is a pie cakin?
So a pie cakin is a 3-layered moment, which usually is a pie, a piece of cake, and then some kind of a, let's just say Thanksgiving. So it's a pecan on top of or pecans at the bottom, then like a cheesecake, and then some kind of, sponge cake on the top, pumpkin spice cake, and then, then you've got some cobbler and a dollop of ooey gooey, cranberry hoo-ha on top of it. So it's diabetes, actually.
So it's diabetes.
On a plate. And you have one little sliver of it, and then, you give it to your friends, and it's good. But
what's a guilty pleasure for you, and when you're like, oh, you know what, I need a treat. What do you run out and get?
Ice cream.
Ice cream?
Ice cream it is Unicorn Sparkle from Walmart. I don't even know what's in it. It's pink and purple.
Right.
And, so that, then I always have to have Hershey's chocolate syrup on top of that. Then I do the extra heavy, spray whipped cream in a can. And then I add some sprinkles to it. Some confection syrup.
Yeah. Remember I don't know whether they have it here on the East Coast. I believe they do, but you took me to have my first Dole Whip.
Dole Whips.
I love a Dole Whip.
Yes, and there are 45 different flavors and variations of the Dole Whip.
Yes.
Which is nice. Good. It's so good. It's yogurt. It's like a sorbet, but, kind of creamy, if you will.
Yeah.
Yes. But I like sweet. That's what it is, because my grandmother, every time after lunch or dinner or whatnot, she says, she would always say, I need something sweet. That's what she says.
Oh. So. My great aunt, Olga, Aunt Olga used to say, I'm going to make you a special milkshake. She would take, I'm not even lying, a half gallon of ice cream, put it in the blender, mash it up, and that's it. So basically,
it's just,
it's just a half gallon of ice cream, melted a little bit. And she was like, there you go. She'd smoke a cigarette, and then I would have it. Okay, we like to wrap this up. First of all, There's always time for kindness. There's always time for friendship. And I just adore you. And we will do more of this chit-chatting together and just giggling and laughing. I just wanted everybody to get to know you. But do you happen to know any good dad jokes? Think about it while I tell a few. Ethel, what do you call two bananas? Slippers. Okay, not the best one. Okay. Why couldn't the pony sing a lullaby? She was a little horse. Stop it. She's like, I hate these. These are terrible. Okay, this is the last one. What musical instrument is found in the bathroom? You know it. A tuba toothpaste.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't know any dad jokes.
That's okay. Now, to wrap it up, where is one place that the two of us need to travel together? Like, we have to go. It's a girlfriend trip. The two of us. We got to take photos. Where do you want to go?
Bora.
Okay. I feel like, and I know that we both have a little bit of an affinity for flashiness and sparkles. We almost did it this year for, I was there with Mr. Davis, but you had other commitments. We've got to go to Vegas.
Yeah, I'm going there in October to go see the
That's what I was going to
Wizard
say. You're not that far away, but I think Vegas would be just a hoot. We'd dress all flashy, go see the shows, judge the RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes. Yeah. And you have to be scared. I don't think you do, right? You don't like to be like, oh,
it's not my favorite. No. Do you like the haunted houses?
Yeah, because they just Universal open one and it's 365 days a year. Mm-hmm. So I'm on your team.
Well, okay, I'll go. But and we're like those two Muppets up in the balcony. Just
100%. Oh my God! If we go to Vegas, we have got to go see the Whitney Houston tribute concert.
Ooh, yes.
And where she just turns into sand and goes under, like, it's so crazy. Yeah, and then you want to know who's right after her in that same showroom?
Who?
Donny Osmond.
I mean, come on. That is so right up our alley. And I have to say, I love to go and just see the hotel lobbies and just all the beauty.
The Bellagio Gardens,
the Bellagio. All right. Well, I adore you, and I'll talk to you in the morning.
Or this evening. You never know.
Or this evening. I want to thank you so much for joining us. And where could everybody find you on the socials?
On the socials, it's Ethylina Canne on Instagram, Facebook. I don't do the X. I never learned how to. I just don't know how to do that. And
are you?
What else?
Are you on my chart?
Yeah, I am on my chart actually. I went to the doctor the other day, and I'm very grateful for it. I had some tests done, and I sat there and I was just nervous in the service. But guess what? He told me they were B9. There it is. B9.
I knew you'd get one. I knew you.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's the race.
Coast to coast, saving the world.
I love
Kasha and Ethel. All right, I adore you.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, listening, watching, and sharing. And remember, there's always time for kindness. Mwah.